path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Tá, vamos lá. Eu, no caso, acho que eu vou voltar. Vou carregar aqui. Em vez de eu negociar, eu vou falar pra gente ficar aqui.
What? That's it. Did you? You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Well, she's not.
Confia em mim, vai ser melhor pra ambos ficarmos aqui. Podemos ser felizes, só precisamos querer.
But we would have to be here forever. I don't know you. This is really what you want, though, isn't it?
Her eyes dart uncomfortably to the corners of the room.
I guess we could do that.
She doesn't seem happy about this. But she can't be unhappy about staying with us. Can she? I don't know. She has a point. She doesn't know us. No. It has to be him. It has to be this place. If we just made these walls more fitting for a princess, if we just say the right things, if we just showed her the contents of our heart, she'd be happy here. As the voice thinks its thought, your hands raise, fingers pointing towards your chest, and then... What? No, you absolutely do not do that. Oh, but I do. What? What is he doing? We can't see unless you tell us. Are you sure you want to know? I suppose I can't stall forever. You plunge your nails into your chest, digging deep, grasping for a handhold. And you find it, your fingers curling around your ribs.
Oh no! What are you doing? Are you okay? You can't do that and be okay.
Time out. He should not be allowed to do that. He's not the decider. And yet, it's done, isn't it? It will be soon. You yank violently, your bones cracking with wet pops as you pull yourself apart inch by painful inch. Your exposed heart, framed by jagged ribs, thumps rhythmically in your raw, bloodied chest. The loosened, threads of your body unfurling to cover the surface of the room. Don't mind my sacrifice. It's a fair price to pay to give her everything she doesn't know she wants.
Oh, I see. You're trying to tell me something.
The princess, mesmerized, reaches towards your beating heart, and then everything goes dark and we die? Yes.
Epílogo. Felizes para sempre.
You're on a path in the woods. Mate, we're clearly already in the cabin. Excuse me? You're clearly... Oh. Huh. So you are. How do you know about the cabin? I didn't get to the cabin part of my opening monologue yet. We've been here before. Well, not here, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You knew about the loop-in last time. Now, he's clearly disorientated. I'm sure all this new info is going to come as quite a shock to him. Best if we're gentle. Right on cue, here's the new guy. Welcome! Thank you. I'm just happy to be here. Okay, yes, I get it. You've been here before. That's terrible. You know that, right? Because the only reason you would have been here before is if you failed in whatever world you'd come from. Meaning you doomed an entire other reality. But I'm sure since you're so well-travelled, you know that, yes?
Oportunista.
Well, we know that now, thanks to you. We're all so lucky to be stuck with, working with someone so well-informed. You can count on us to do things right from here on out. I'm going to describe the room now. The interior of the cabin is vast and regal. High arched windows line the walls, their multicolored glass casting kaleidoscopic patterns across the stone floor. An iron chandelier hangs from the vaulted ceiling, its many candles lit with flickering light, vaguely illuminating the massive room. This is a house fit for royalty.
E tem vários vitrais dela, da princesa, né? Com coração.
Before you, there isn't a blade, is there? That's not good.
Que diferença faz se o punhal está aqui? Não usamos da última vez e na vez anterior ela usou para nos matar.
Now that is some fine reasoning. Who cares about the blade? I think you're right. We're better off without it. It's not like it's ever been important. Of course, the blade's important. It's your implement. You're going to need it if you want to do this right. The fact that you're here, right now, again, means that you have not yet done this right. But it's not there, is it? We don't even get the choice. So, what are we supposed to do? I don't actually know. I'm sure it'll turn up somewhere. It has to. It's part of the whole structure of this place, I think. At the very least, it's important.
Ei, cadê a voz do apaixonado? Ele estava aqui da última vez e não é o feitio dele ficar tão quieto.
Yeah, he was a bit of a loud one, wasn't he? Is he okay? We're better off without him, if you ask me. One less opinion we have to contend with. Plus, he's the one who got us into this whole mess.
Cara, fui ver 5 shorts, nem parece que passou muito tempo. Ah, não passou tanto tempo não, acho.
Is that so? Maybe there is hope for you after all, free from the bad influence of your missing friend.
Então nenhum de vocês vai falar sobre o espelho?
What is there to say about it? It's a mirror. Is this some sort of a bit? There is no mirror. There's only the stained glass windows, the empty table where your blade should be, and the door to the basement. Oh, my bad. That's why I haven't been talking about it. I see it, just like I saw it last time. Good for you, buddy. You've got a sharp set of eyes on you. Mirror or no mirror, the door to the basement, your only way forward, is just on the other side of the room. How about you walk over there?
Aproximar-se do
Across the
espelho.
room, stopping just in front of the door to the basement. What is this about that supposed mirror? Just reach forward and fumble around a bit. I'm sure you'll find the handle. Well, shall we have a look at ourselves? Maybe it won't go away this time. You reach forward, your hand instinctively wrapping around the handle.
É, sumiu.
Figures. And then you push the door open. Marvellous. We can proceed. It would seem that the stairs to the basement don't lead to a basement at all. Rather, they go up. They're draped in fine carpet too, one that feels pleasantly soft against your feet. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably... no, it doesn't work here at all. This place is nice. It's fancy, even. I have to say, whatever you did in your previous lives, I deeply dislike how much it's thrown me off my rhythm. Don't worry about it, boss. You're doing great. I'm not, but I appreciate the encouragement. Well, if all of this has thrown you off your rhythm so much, then maybe we don't have to slay the princess. No, you absolutely do. Just because she lives in a nice house doesn't mean she doesn't pose a direct threat to all of reality. It's in her very nature. Her voice, gentle and warm, with an undercurrent of fatigue, rolls down the stairs.
You're home. Dinner's ready.
As much as I desperately want to know what happened last time, we are not going to examine it. The more we think, the worse this gets.
Pô, esse jogo é bem divertido.
Why are you so on edge? This is much nicer than what we're used to. I'd like to have dinner. Dinner sounds nice. Gotta say, I'm with him on this one, boss. When have nice things ever been a problem? That is the problem. This isn't supposed to be nice, and she's supposed to be a prisoner. I need to stop talking. I need to stop talking. Just go upstairs, okay?
Sim, pelo amor de Deus. Ah, vai estar livre.
This hall, like the one below, is grand and beautiful. Torches bathe the room in warm, comforting light, just enough to illuminate the tapestries along every wall, woven with scenes of chivalry and courtship and romance. The many cloth eyes are fixed on each other, gazes averted from the long table in the center of the room, the princess seated at its far end. Your pristine blade glints in the weak torchlight, hanging from a golden chain around the princess's neck. So that's where it is. And the tip is already pointed right at her heart. Okay, everything is falling back into place. All you have to do is cross the room, push down a little, and the entire world is saved. That's easy. Yeah, that is easy, isn't it? So, where's the rush?
You're here. Now we can start being happy together. Why don't you sit down? Wouldn't that be nice?
As the words leave her mouth, the torches flare and a chair swings in from behind, knocking your legs out from under you. You're forcibly seated at the head of the table.
De um jogo de salvar a princesa pelo lance de decisões, ética, macabra e algo mais, eu acho. De um jogo de matar a princesa. Nunca foi um jogo de salvar a princesa.
Isn't that better? It is better, right?
Que lugar é esse?
It's our happy ending, just like you asked for. It's everything we're supposed to have ever wanted.
Justo. O que devemos fazer agora?
Oh, right, dinner. I'd totally forgotten about it.
Flames burn bright and a shadow dives across the table. In its wake, it leaves a feast.
Go ahead and dig in. I'm sure you're hungry.
Am I ever? And look at this spread. It's a feast fit for a king. Yeah, after everything we've been through, we could use a break. More than that, we deserve a break.
Comer.
You begin to feast, and the princess follows suit, her soft smile never fading. The food is more exquisite than you ever could have imagined. You sample countless otherworldly dishes, sauces and bread and hearty stews whose tastes dance across your tongue. You tear at hunks of meat practically melting from the bone, juicy and tender and bursting with flavors you could scarcely begin to describe. Your cup fills itself again and again with a flowery nectar so sweet it tastes like glimmering jewels. This really is perfect, isn't it? It is the best meal you've ever had. But then it's over, and you're just as hungry as when you began.
Wasn't that perfect? We should do it again.
O clichê falou mais alto. E aí, rei? Salve.
The shadow washes across the table, clearing and replating. The feast is once again laid before you. The food is good. Again, you tear into golden crispy flesh, dab at the slurry of aromatic sauces on your plate with thick-crusted bread, sip your goblet of sparkling gems. But you have done this already. A good meal is still a good meal, and we didn't even have to clear the dishes. I'm happy.
O herói come joias. Pois é, né? O sabor de joias. Tipo...
And then it's over. And you're just as hungry as when you began.
You're still hungry too, right? I know this wasn't as good as it was last time, but we just have to do it again. That's all. It'll be perfect if we just do it again.
Oh, querida, chega.
So the shadow sweeps over the table, clearing the old and laying out the new. And so you do it again. The meat is fine, the bread is fine. You sample the side dishes and they're fine too. You finish your goblet, the liquid within no longer glimmering on your palate, instead leaving your mouth coated in a tacky film. You put it down and it fills again. You do not drink more. Well, food is food, isn't it? Can't always be amazing. What matters is that we don't have to make it. Getting other people to do the hard work always improves the taste. Does it? Because it seems like the taste is getting worse, and we haven't had to so much as lift a finger.
Comendo papel? Acho que eu não tô comendo nada, sei lá.
Regardless of quality, it's over again, and you're just as hungry as when you began.
É o mundo que acabou agora, eu acho.
No, something was wrong that time. But maybe I was just tasting it wrong. It looks just as good as it did the first time. It shouldn't taste like this.
Again, the shadow replaces your feast, and again you eat. The meat is greasy. The bread is tough, its crust hurting your jaw as you chew. The grey vegetables are barely worth the effort of picking through. You don't even touch the goblet, its sickly sweet aroma utterly unappealing. I'm so tired of eating. Well, it's still free food we didn't have to make, right? Oh, am I kidding? We were eating like kings and now we're eating like pigs. At least you still have the memory of how good it was the first time, right?
I'm so tired of this.
O narrador não quis falar. Quando ela fala, uma das tochas na parede crepita e depois se apaga por completo.
What just happened? Did I do something wrong?
Not a fan of whatever just happened. I don't want to sit in the dark. Losers sit in the dark. I want to sit in a brightly lit, spacious room where we can see our beautiful, queenly wife. As if in response to the dousing of their brother, the other three torches blaze brighter, their flames licking at the walls. Their shadows deepen, dancing angrily across the stone.
Caramba. Tá. Explorar o que aconteceu. Você fez aquela tocha se apagar? Não acho que você tenha feito nada de errado. Acho que só esse pessoal que queria dizer. É só uma tocha, não se preocupe, ainda temos bastante luz. Bem, nós comemos. O que devemos fazer agora?
I don't know. Maybe we could play a game.
São das CLTs de cozinhando de qualquer jeito.
Yeah, that's exactly what we should do.
The flames roar and the shadow comes dancing across the table. It leaves behind an intricate game, its pieces elegant and beautiful and enticing, its simple rules already apparent, even with little explanation.
Se entrar num loop de jogo de 4 vezes a gente jogando ali e ficando pior cada vez, eu vou ficar maluco.
We can probably work together to figure this out as we go. That sounds like a lot of fun, right?
Parece.
Great, we don't even have a rule book. That means we can make up as many rules as we want. And we will. Don't worry, I am excellent at cheating. She'll never suspect a thing. I don't think it really matters. This all kind of feels like we're just filling time, you know? What, you don't want to win? To show our prowess in all avenues and accumulate respect? Wow, you would be hopeless without me. Count your lucky stars I'm here. You and the princess do indeed figure it out as you go. And what a game it is. The tension between turns, the triumphant highs of moves well placed, and the tragic lows of miscalculations and careless plays. The warmth of trust and the cool texture of deception. And then, the climax, as she places her final piece.
Oh, I think we got the rules wrong.
And so you start over. She only made us start over because we were winning. Time passes. You play the game. You win. Boom! And there you have it. What did I tell you? Am I great at games or am I great at games?
Pensa uma partida com uma voz manipuladora. Manipuladora não. Uma voz oportunista. Ganhei uma conquista. Com a ajuda de uma voz... Não, com a ajuda de uma voz manipuladora mesmo. Nossa, 0% das pessoas têm essa conquista? Deve ser coisa nova.
Oh, you won. I guess we can play again.
Time passes. We play the game. She wins.
Oh, I won. I guess we can play again.
There is a long pause, and the board does not reset.
This isn't fun anymore, is it?
You don't need me to tell you that it isn't. Oh. The princess visibly panics as another torch sputters.
Wait. Maybe this is just too easy. Maybe if we added more rules and pieces, it would be fun again.
Yeah. The game's just a little simple. We can make it fun again. The shadow descends on the board once again. More pieces are added, their shapes more intricate, their purposes less immediately clear, and the two of you set about discovering the complexities of the game anew. And so you do. And it is fun again. In fact, it's almost as fun as the first time you played, and the sputtering torch roars back to life. But then you get used to the additions, and the feeling starts to fade. A creeping numbness settling in over the board. More pieces are added. The feelings flare. The feelings fade. The princess suggests new rules. A glimmer of what could have been excitement flits through your mind, quickly vanishing as the game progresses. Your pieces advance in an ever-increasing slog to their destination. Winning and losing become nothing but ends, and even the end becomes nothing as you roll over into a new game, the board resetting as many times as you can finish. Till finally...
Finalmente!
I'm out of ideas. I'm actually out of ideas this time. I don't think I can play anymore.
Quando a tocha apagou. De novo o narrador não falou. A princesa fala e mais uma tocha se apaga. Uma vez mais, as chamas que restam ardem com mais intensidade, e a sombra dança mais rápido.
I'm happy. I promise. We're both so happy here. You don't have to be upset.
This is... awful. Isn't it great that we're all having such a lovely time together? We just have to stay positive and realise how happy we are. Then all of those lights will stay on and keep showing us all the cool stuff we have.
A parte do jogo mostra a ideia de que nada dura para sempre, sei lá.
Yeah. Sure.
Você está mesmo feliz aqui?
The princess starts to hyperventilate, her quick breaths punctuating the uncomfortable silence between you.
Yes! Why wouldn't I be? Let's not talk about it.
She's being defensive. And we all know being defensive is a sign of weakness.
Ó, tem infinitas páginas. Precisamos saber a verdade. Você precisa dizer como realmente se sente.
I don't feel anything.
The third torch sputters out. The princess's shadow dances furiously against the far wall.
Ah, a terceira tocha apagou, né?
There's just one left. What's going to happen when it goes out?
Não se preocupe com o que vai acontecer. Se pudesse fazer qualquer coisa no mundo, o que seria? O que você escolheria?
I think I'd like to dance under the stars.
That sounds lovely.
But there aren't any stars here. I'd have to leave.
As she says that, the shadow rushes forward and tightens its grip on her wrists.
I'm not happy here. I don't think I ever was.
The princess sobs, burying her face in her hands as the final torch blows out.
Ceifar a princesa poderia. Por que está chorando?
She raises her head, mascara trailing down her cheeks.
I don't know. It feels like an important part of me is gone, but I'm still here. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how I'm supposed to pick up the pieces.
The princess's eyes dart to the floor.
Well, we can't sit here forever. That part of us is over.
The princess pushes herself from her chair, and you instinctively do the same, waiting by the top of the stairs as she quietly crosses the room.
Do you still care about me?
Claro que sim, acho que nunca vou parar.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to say that. I still care about you, too, so maybe this wasn't all bad. But I don't think this place is for us anymore. I think we need to go.
Oferecer sua mão a ela.
As the princess steps towards the stairs, you offer her your hand. The corners of her mouth curl into a demure smile, and she gently takes your hand in hers. She's cold, and a little clammy, but her skin against yours is the most real thing you have ever felt. You're offering surprisingly little resistance. If we leave the cabin, doesn't that end the world? He's right, you know. You're giving us some real mixed signals, boss. Yes, well, I've seen my fairy tale ending, and I think there might be worse things than the end of the world. Well, this is less work for us anyways. Think what you will. I'm done fighting. You and the princess don't exchange words as you descend the stairs to the cabin's entrance. And then the two of you step out into the world. I think this is the end of me, even if it's not the end of you. I hope this was worth it. Genuinely, I do. He's really gone, isn't he? No boss anymore? No one left to tell us what to do? I guess we'll have to be our own boss then. About time.
The stars are so beautiful.
Momento de silêncio passa por você, é reconfortante.
I meant it when I said I wanted to dance.
Ela o puxa gentilmente e vocês dois dão início a um passo gracioso. O único ritmo que os guia é a batida compartilhada de seus corações, em perfeito uníssono. O rosto dela, cansado e abatido, ilumina-se quanto mais rápido você se move, um sorriso suave e triste se alargando até refletir apenas afeto genuíno. Você a faz girar em um gracejo amplo, e seus braços se estendem até o limite. Apenas o aperto tênue da sua mão na dela os mantém juntos. Vocês compartilham um olhar que parece durar para sempre.
Thank you for taking me here. This is nice, even if it's a little cold outside.
Acabou o mundo. Levei outra pra ela. Dance com o seu final feliz. Mas você não teve chance de responder, nem terá. É hora de partir, a memória retorna. Pulei um diálogo? Qual? Pulei não, pô. Ah, esse daqui? A princesa, as estrelas são tão lindas. Ah, não, é porque você aperta H, soma o HUD. Eu faço isso pra tirar print de vez em quando. Eu só, tipo, H, F12 e H de novo. É, mas você não teve chance de responder nem terá. Eu acho que partir minha memória
She's gone.
retorna.
Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Claro que está com medo, afinal esse será o seu fim, mas não será o meu fim.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. You better watch your back. You can't get rid of me that easy.
Aproximar-se do espelho. Você se aproxima do espelho. Observar-se no reflexo. Os lentes tomam conta ao avançar, eles se foram novamente. O espelho sempre os faz desaparecer, mas você precisa ver o que há nele. Você cresceu. Você se encontra num silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Prosseguir até a cabana. Você está na cabana, aproximar-se dela.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Essas são as mesmas perguntas da última vez. Eu acho, é porque eu voltei o save, né? Eu acho que eu tenho que fazer tudo em seguida, eu não posso voltar a save, não. E, você é o mesmo que você que era antes quando você mudou. É a mesma coisa. Tudo que você fala parece um enigma. Se você não gosta das minhas respostas, não me faz perguntas. Com a sensação de mudar.
Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to it feels correct. This With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be. And every exploration, I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Não sei se eu tinha lido esse diálogo da última vez, mas tudo bem. Eu vou matá-la, certo?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Essa eu não tinha falado. Quando eu volto é como se uma parede invisível me cercasse. Por que eu não consigo fazer as mesmas coisas que eu já fiz antes de perguntar? Por quê?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are...
Tem alguma opinião sobre esse aspecto?
This one is a songbird in a cage of gilded shadows. She will make for an honest heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally learned to sing for herself.
É um aspecto diferente da apaixonada. Quando eu volto é como se uma parede invisível me cercasse. Isso aqui eu tinha visto já. É. O que você quer que eu traga da próxima vez? Vai falar aqui, tanto faz, né? Presente, né? Tem nenhuma preferência, não. Eu não quero machucá-la mais vezes, que as coisas foram cada vez piores quanto mais vezes eu voltar. O que você sente por mim? Esses aspectos que eu tenho trazido pra você, eu machuquei todos eles. Isso aqui eu não lembro, não.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Estou pronto pra voltar. Posso atacar a entidade, não vai fazer nada. Posso me atacar, também não faz nada. Estou pronto pra voltar.
We will meet again.
Tudo bem. Matar no sentido Nietzsche. Oh, Nietzsche. Cara, nem sei nem pronunciar essa palavra, não. Compartilhe seu final feliz com. Ah, o que conquista o gay?
That path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Compartilhe seu final feliz com ela, um coração honesto. É um final nietzschiano. Deixe suas ideias de se morrer para descobrir quem você é além disso. 3.
You're here to slay her.
Tá. Aqui a gente volta lá pro começo, beleza. Agora eu vou salvar. Isso aqui nada me interessa, né? Vou seguir pra cabana.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. Before she will lie. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Vou prosseguir até a cabana.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely the blade.
Eu não lembro o que eu fiz, porque eu carreguei isso daqui, né? Então eu acabei não levando ela. Foi isso? Eu tenho que refazer isso. Eu vou refazer isso.
Hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you.
Vou vir salvar você.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Eu devia ter pego a algema.
Walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Negócio não, o punhal. É que meu negócio também. É verdade, eu não tava usando aqui a câmera, né? Eu tava usando. Assim. O que tá bom?
She's beautiful. I am begging you to.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Não trouxe, querido, esqueci. Vou fazer o que posso fazer, examinar os bilhões.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Vamos acompanhar andar de cima.
Okay. I'll be here.
É que isso daqui eu já fiz, né?
To make your way out. You try the door. Your shouts and you're here to. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for her, easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could.
She better.
Esse daqui eu lembro.
It's the or you won't.
Salvar a princesa, eu tô refazendo isso daqui, velho.
She didn't so much know. How is she still?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
É bem bizarro, né?
No, we won't. Wait, watch me.
Avisá-la.
Stop.
Resistir. Ah, eu não posso, porque tá sendo repetido. Ah. Olha só. Deixa eu ver. Pular texto novo? Não faz sentido isso, né? Pular texto que eu já peguei, né, e tal, mas não tá pulando. Tá, aqui eu tenho que escolher ceifar a princesa, não tem jeito.
Thank you.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there?
A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking of me as a helpless damsel.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart.
Caralho.
It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Capítulo 2, a bruxa.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
Mas eu morri, o que eu tô fazendo
I
aqui?
can assure you that you're not dead.
Não, não pula só o diálogo velho, não. Eu pensei que pulava só o diálogo velho. Tá, calma. Posso garantir que você não tá morto para responder a segunda questão. Você está aqui para ceifar a princesa, como já havia dito ainda agora. E aí, Elias, quanto tempo? Você não se lembra do que aconteceu? Talvez seja melhor que continue assim. Voz do oportunista. Genial, precisamos esconder o jogo. Não sei se podemos confiar nele. Ah, o oportunista aparece aqui agora. Você sabe que eu consigo ouvir, certo? Esconder segredos de mim será muito mais difícil do que você pensa. Eu disse, não sei se podemos confiar nele. Foi um lapso. Calma. Eu disse, não sei se podemos confiar nele? Foi um lapso. Troquei as palavras. Quis dizer que deveríamos ir até acabando de ceifar aquela princesa. Já sabemos que não podemos confiar nela, então vamos continuar. Digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade, a situação atual já tenha acontecido. Por que eu daria ouvidos a você? Por que eu me daria o trabalho de agir?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it... Let's say for a moment that this really is the second. You died
Essa aqui eu já vi também.
which probably only happened because we were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation. You can't blame us for weighing our options. I can if you failed to slay the princess, which you apparently did. So great, congratulations. You've been given another chance. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we?
É.
You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinions. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
Cara, vamos conversar sobre a princesa.
Just be quick about it.
Ela me matou da última vez. Como posso garantir que o fato não se repita?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
Se eu consigo resumir o que aconteceu até agora, é um pouco... Dá pra resumir. Qual que é o lance? Todo esse jogo aqui é... O seu objetivo é matar a princesa que tá na cabana, porque senão ela vai acabar com o mundo. Tem uma princesa no porão da cabana, você vai lá e mata ela. Começa o jogo, você nessa florestinha que nem eu tô aqui agora, e o narrador falando isso, blá blá blá, você tá nessa floresta, não sei o que, e mais à frente tem a cabana que você tem que ir lá matar ela. E o que acontece no jogo é que você tem várias escolhazinhas que você pode fazer, perguntar mais coisas, ou aceitar ir, ou contrariar o narrador. E no fim das contas você vai lá, né? Ou não matar a princesa. Até agora, e qual que é a graça do jogo, né? Que tem várias escolhas que dão caminhos diferentes. Mas o que aconteceu até agora no jogo? Eu já fiz algumas dessas, bem poucas, eu fiz umas 3 assim. E quando essas coisas acontecem, meio que reseta. Então se você morre, você volta pra cá pra um capítulo diferente, onde você pode liberar um novo final, onde a princesa faz uma coisa diferente. E o objetivo real do jogo é que você encontre, mais ou menos, pelo menos pelo que eu entendi agora, você encontre todas as personalidades ou todas as variáveis da princesa e leve ela até uma entidade superior, assim. Toda vez que você encontra, você eleva essa personalidade para essa entidade superior. E não sei se quando eu levar todas o jogo acaba ou algo assim. Aí eu já tenho que ver. Mas até agora já ajudei a princesa a fugir, deu merda. Já matei a princesa direto e deu um finalzinho qualquer coisa. E que foi isso? Na última vez eu fui morto por ela. Tá, e aí tem essas vozes, né? O narrador, ele quer que você mate a princesa. Ele não explica muito, mas ele quer que você mate a princesa. E é meio, né? Dá pra duvidar dele e tal. Bom, ela me matou me fazendo pedaços. Não me entenda mal, odiei. Mas como alguém se pode acabar com o mundo?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Quem a trancou no porão? O que é esse lugar?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
As pessoas conseguiram trancá-la porque não a ceifaram, porque... Não, isso aqui eu já sei, já. Estão omitindo informações. O que você está escondendo de mim?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Aí que tá, narrador. É difícil confiar na sua palavra, né?
I don't think either of you really need to press the man on this. He wants us to slay the princess, so why would he have anything to hide? He seems like a nice guy to me. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but you should really stop wasting time chatting amongst yourselves in the woods. So, if we could move this along? Look.
Essa é a única pessoa.
Of course you're special. Good point. That really explains almost everything. I'm not so sure about that. You know, you're right. But it explains almost everything.
Tá.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated...
Eu ia estar acabando.
A warning. She will lie. Don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done.
Vamos ver o que mudou aqui.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Eu espero, né? Mas ele nunca fala. Acabando está diferente da última vez.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
Aproximação do espelho.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Limpar não vai ter nada.
Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Vamos descer.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Nesse tal explorar, tem uma certa quantia para chegar na parte da princesa, depende do caminho que você escolher, é meio que maior. Não, geralmente é sempre a mesma coisa. Essa explorar é só perguntas que não resultam em ações. Por exemplo, quando tem explorar do lado, quer dizer que eu não vou fazer nada depois disso. Eu vou só fazer essa pergunta fecha em si só, ela não tem nenhuma consequência em si. Pelo menos eu acho.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing.
Só falei, não sou
I
repugnante.
recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying? Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss.
E o que pode ter consequências, todas as outras.
You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. you can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
Por exemplo, essa última que eu escolhi, que era só tipo não sou repugnante, a consequência foi que eu desci. Se tivesse algo escrito explorar do lado, eu não fazia nada. Era só uma pergunta qualquer que era conversada entre as vozes e acabou. Não desci a escada até ver ela. As consequências são só ações que são tomadas.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the woods. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Muito complicado, mas acho que estou entendendo um pouco melhor. Por exemplo, essas explorar aqui, tá vendo? Eu vou conversar com ela. Quando tem essa daqui, ó, não quero machucá-la uma vez que houve uma quebra de confiança entre nós. Esse é o meu gesto conciliatório. Eu entrego o punhal a ela. Aqui eu tô fazendo uma ação. Aqui eu tô deixando ela no porão. Aqui eu vou ceifar ela, ou aqui eu só ceifo ela. Essas explorar, eu vou perguntar coisas, vou conversar com ela. Ó, eu cometi um erro. Todos erram, não é? Aposto que você... Não. Muito bonito que aconteceu da última vez.
Smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Não se preocupe, o punhal não é pra você, ou melhor, pra matar você. Precisamos tirar ela daqui de algum jeito, certo?
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Tenho a impressão que você não está feliz comigo.
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try harder than that.
Olha, eu sei. É a coisa que eu fiz da última vez, mas acho que existe algo maior do que nós dois por trás de tudo isso. Deveríamos unir nossas forças.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all, and unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
Eu morri da última vez, você não. Se alguém aqui não é digno de confiança... Não. Por que eu estou com a sensação de que vai me apunhalar pelas costas se eu ajudar ela a sair daqui?
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them? But I wouldn't worry. As much as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, the only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event. She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world, remember? Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's going to stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but she could very well symbolically do the same thing. See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
Certo, vamos embora. Calma. Não quero machucá-la, mas vejo que houve uma quebra de confiança entre nós. Esse é meu gesto conciliatório, entregar o punhal à princesa.
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I abstain? You abstain? She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
Não estamos em uma democracia. Vamos entregar o punhal pra ela.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
Aí é foda. Você que sabe, é por isso que eu lhe dei o punhal. A escolha foi minha da última vez e me arrependi, então agora é sua vez de escolher.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
Pronto.
And then she buries the blade in your heart.
Desgraçada.
What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.